What's up? This is our second video that we are going to do, and got a little content creator set up now on my desk. Full-time YouTuber. I have no idea what I'm doing. But yeah, we're back at it again with another YouTube video for you guys. I am very new to this, so please bear with me. I wrote down a whole script, and if I was professional, I'd do a whole like teleprompter thing and it would be beautiful and seamless, but this is our second video, so bear with me. We've got some pretty big updates. We got engaged. We got a house, and yeah, it's been pretty life-changing. We actually have a little spot of ours that we can call home. Previous to that, it was in this mother-in-law that we're currently in, and it's a studio layout with a little kitchenette. It's nothing, there's not a whole lot to it, but it was either that or we were in Katarina's little one-bedroom apartment and I couldn't really get around in there, and it was just, it's really cool for us to now have a little spot that's ours. So we're really stoked on that. I managed to pop the question to Katarina right after we got done with the hike. The full story is on her Instagram. She typed everything out, and I'll give you a little brief synopsis, but we went on a hike together, and I knew that I wanted to pop the question right around the time that we got the house, but then as I started to think about it more, I was like, she's expecting it, and I don't, the whole thing is like the element of surprise. And also too, we had so many people around us the day that we were closing on the house, between like Nick, Katarina's brother, who was our realtor, and then like her family came out, and then we have the mortgage broker, and then my parents come out, and then we've got grandparents who want to come over and say hi. And so it was really important to me that we like found time for it to just be us. So 2 days after we closed on the house, I was like, let's go on a hike, and like, let's go to the beach or something, and we can go for a walk, and I can use the X8. And Katarina was like, we've already done the beach. I don't want to do the beach. And I was like, God damn it, that would be the perfect place to propose, but cool, it's fine. So we ended up at a park right around the corner, and we went on a really lovely hike, and we were on cloud 9 for sure. And I think, again, it was really important for it to just be like private between her and I. And I had her set up the phone, and she's like, why don't I just film you? And I was like, no. And that's literally all I could say, was just no, because I was fucking panicked to be like, how do I phrase this? Don't throw up. But yeah, Mom helped out. Before I left the house, I had a beanie on with a fold, and I like stuck it in my beanie. I stuck the ring in my beanie, and I started to say some like sweet things to Katarina, and I was like, man, I have like a twig or something in my beanie, can you? And she like dug in there. I was like, ah. She doesn't sound like a dying pelican, but she was very excited. So anyways, we have a house, we have a future marriage. Life things are happening. So yeah, we're shifting gears from a more leisurely exploring video to more of like an obligational video where we talk about all the things that we need to do with the house. One of the first hurdles that we have to get over is the fact that I need multiple ramps to get around the house independently. I have a little like collapsible folding ramp that is great, but moves a lot when I go over it, and it's not the safest thing. So whenever I was in the house, I had to be like, hey, can you move the ramp from the front threshold to the back? And then there's a step down in the back, can you move that there? And then I want to get out to the back, and you got to put it out to the pool deck, and we're just constantly moving ramps. So we had a good friend over at Majors Medical reach out and say that we could borrow some ramps for a little while. So we've got 3 ramps in the house now, and one at the back, one at the front door, and one into the Florida room area that has a step down. Yeah, it's just allowed me to like roam about the cabin freely and not have to impede anybody, or not impede, not like stop somebody from working. I can just cruise around. And it's been really helpful for filming all of this too, because like I'm trying to document as much as I can of the process and getting to certain specific angles, especially when the camera is only on my lap and the chair can only get to so many places. It definitely limits what I'm able to do creatively. So it's nice to be able to flow around the whole house. I know everyone on here is begging for you to like and subscribe and share their stuff, and believe me, I get it. You have to be selling yourself all the time. I totally understand. And that's really all I'm trying to do here, is I just want you guys to know how difficult life can be for a disabled individual, but also how beautiful life can be, because it's not always just, while there can be a lot of tough aspects to life with a spinal cord injury, there's a lot of beauty to it, especially when I have the team of people I do around me, my mom, my dad, Katarina's folks, Katarina herself, my sister, the people in this community. So yeah, I want to take the time to share that, and I think it's important. And there's also a lot of aspects to my life that I don't do a good job at sharing, which I think would give a lot of perspective to people that see me and they're just like, oh yeah, well, he's in a wheelchair and that's that. And it's like, there's a lot more to it than that. So I'm hoping I can kind of peel the onion on this channel. So if you're interested in that, like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, fucking blow my shit up, dog. So after we got the popcorn off the ceiling, the research we had done led us to believe that we needed to reapply some sort of texture to the ceiling. So we didn't see any like the imperfections in between the areas where the sheetrock will come together. Our two options were like orange peel or knockdown, and we knew that we didn't want either of those on the ceiling. We just wanted it to be flat. I gotta say too, it was Katarina's idea for it to be totally smooth flat, and I didn't really think a whole lot of it, but after seeing it, it's really made a big difference. Initially we thought that we were gonna have to apply some sort of like mud to the ceiling to smooth everything out, but even with like the most meticulous process, we were just creating more work for ourselves, because you would still have ridges that you'd have to go back and sand, and now you're putting all of this dust into the air and you're wearing respirators and vacuums, and it was just creating a lot more work. So after we took some paint and prime to the guest bedroom ceiling, we found that we really didn't need to do anything. It looked great off the bat, and a part of me feels like this is what homeownership is that like you see one way that you can do things and you're like, that's the way it needs to be done. And then you get midway through the process and you're like, oh my God, this is not how I want to do it. And you find a way to get the job done. And it's not to say that like you're cutting corners or doing things half-heartedly. It's just, you can either be very, very thorough or you can get the job done. And I think that that's what we kind of ran into with the popcorn texture. So we got it off, we primed and painted, and things look pretty goddamn good, if I do say so myself. So thanks to the internet, we were introduced to Johnny, and Johnny has experience in home remodeling and renovations. And when he saw one of our Instagram posts talking about what we were up against, he reached out and said that he would like to offer his services. And the dude has pretty much demoed our entire bathroom for absolutely nothing. He's also taught us a lot of helpful facts that have made the process a lot easier. And now we're getting closer to the point of design, and Katarina's dad has actually stepped up in a big way. He is an architect, and he has made some designs for us to show companies basically what we're trying to do. So if we can get a design and a list of materials, we can go to companies and say, hey, this is the situation, this is what we're trying to accomplish, in what way can you help? Obviously, my disability requires a fairly specific way to like orient things in the bathroom, so we're trying to utilize the space to reap the most benefit that we can. As we get closer to purchasing the materials though, we want to tell you guys how you can go about helping us, either via donations or just any sort of positive vibes you can throw at us, or if there's any helpful hacks that you guys have learned in remodeling your homes, or if the disabled community has any helpful ideas, we are all ears, because one, we are very new to homeownership, and two, we're trying to do it on a disability income and then Katarina's income. So it's definitely going to be piecemealed together, but the sooner I get done with building this bathroom out, the sooner I can move in and actually start living with Katarina. And that's the whole reason we did this. It was for us to be able to live together and have a little bit of space. So yeah, I have a link for you guys to be able to donate down in the description. If you go onto our Instagram, there is a Linktree link in our bio where you can also donate to us. If you have Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, any of that, and would like to make a donation, feel free to reach out via Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, and we can start a conversation and see how we can make that happen. But yeah, any and every bit helps, whether it be a $5 donation or a helpful hack on how to make a wet room more accessible for an individual in a shower chair. So stick around, stay tuned for the next update. I think the next big thing is going to be starting to put stuff back into the bathroom. It's just been a lot of taking stuff out of the bathroom. So yeah, stay tuned, stick around, see what we got coming next.